I want to take this opportunity now to invite my friend and colleague, the President of the Kenya Medical Association, Dr. Simon Mushara Kigondu, to give us they're all over the place. Oh, you're there? Yeah. Normally the photographer. Today you are on the other side.
Thank you very much, Professor. Dean, School of Medicine, was writing that list. Professor Lukoya Atwoli. Professor Opoka, did I get that right?
Yes.
Simetanes. Nancy Buka. Professor Gatiti. Dr. Masi. Excellent. Mbijiwe Gitonga. Professor Lukoya. Rashid Kalani, there's a new one who has appeared. Eunice. Nice. There's also another new one. Ashmi. And the others who are mentioned, Dorothy, good. I'm getting to know you. Professor Abraham Sika. I know that man. I'm his president. The chairs of the various departments. Let's see that. Chairs. Thank you. Faculty members. Faculty. The backbenchers. Program directors.
Yep.
Excellent. Course leads. They are the course leads. Excellent. And there is the staff of the academic faculty staff. Those are the most important, especially the one who cooks tea. That's the most important person. And finally, incoming first year medical students. Baby Sylvia Kimathi, please raise your hand. Baby Sylvia Kimathi. Baby Sylvia Kimathi. Baby Sylvia. That's it. Baby John Webb.
Yeah.
Baby, Who else? Who else was there? Who else was there? Parent, my classmate. There's one more. Yes, that one. Doctor. Yes, Mazo Kiera.
Yes.
You see, I've done my homework. Sylvia Kimathi was my desk mate in medical school.
Wow.
I want to thank you for this invitation as chief guest. It is indeed a great honor, and I do not take it for granted. Nipewe makofi kidogo. I bring greetings from the National Executive and National Governing Council of the Kenya Medical Association. How many have heard of KMA? Oh, quite a number. That's good. The Kenya Medical Association is an umbrella professional medical association representing members. We have both members and associate members. Members being the voting members who are doctors, and associate members from the other medical professions and others who may want to be our members. Of doctors registered to practice in Kenya. The KMA twin mission is championing the welfare of its members and advocating for the highest quality of healthcare for all. In relation to medical students, Kenya Medical Association provides opportunities for medical students as well as doctors to achieve their objectives. I'm happy that Aga Khan faculty are not only faculty at Aga Khan, but they are also active members of Kenya Medical Associations. The successes of Professor Lukoye Atoli as Vice President and Secretary General of Kenya Medical Association cannot go unstated. Google. We would want medical students, we want two of your representatives, a male and a female. We usually have them sit in our Nairobi division board meetings. So at the end of this, I want two of your representatives so that when KMA Nairobi division is having meetings to discuss matters medical, they sit in and listen. This is how we develop student leadership and future doctor leadership. Those two names, please. Huh? From time immemorial, medicine has been considered a noble profession. According to the Collins Dictionary, noble is an adjective, meaning relating to a hereditary class with special social or political status, often derived from a feudal system. It also means people who are characterized by high moral qualities, or they are magnanimous. Kulipita kizungu. That's what noble means. A profession is described as an occupation that requires special training in the liberal arts or sciences, especially one of the three so-called learned professions, which is law, theology, and medicine. Special training. That's why you are taking 6+ years. We will add a few more years. Because of this unique training and language and traditions, medicine is a cult. Welcome to the medical cult. A cult has symbols. The symbols for the medical cult traditionally have been the white coat and the stethoscope. Cults also have ceremonies, like this one, where we walked in, this is one of the ceremonies. Which are these medical ceremonies? The white coat ceremony is the first of many ceremonies in this field of training of medical doctors. It serves to initiate you into medicine. There will be several other ceremonies after this, and I hope Aga Khan University will invite me to witness some of the other ceremonies. There will be the stethoscope ceremony, where as you enter the clinical years, you are given a stethoscope because they think you have learned enough of the basics and can now start touching real people. And then there is the finalist dinner, where we finally release you to the unsuspecting public for medical internship. On completing internship, we will then certify you that you can work independently as a doctor. Many of you will later return to postgraduate studies. I saw the first class was in 2004, and others may not and pursue other careers. That is the beauty of medicine. You can become a sweeper, a driver, do postgraduates. 48 years ago, I was born in this very institution. I was the only one of 4, I was the second born by intervention that required more skill than would have otherwise been available for home settings. And these are the skills you have started acquiring today by joining the medical school. You see, in the olden days, my mother and I would have been long gone. There was no cesarean section. Huh? My big head would have refused to yield despite all the efforts by traditional midwives to get me out. Luckily, by the time I was born, many sacrifices and humans had perfected the art of cesarean section. And thus I arrived safely, and my mother remained of good health to go on and bear 2 other girls normally. So as you sit here today, you already have a head start. Yeah? The knowledge you gain as an undergraduate is the knowledge you will use as a medical practitioner for the rest of your life. You must be grounded in basics. Often we get doctors who qualify, and during our ward rounds, particularly in internship, we wonder, which medical school did you come from? Let that not be you for the sake of Aga Khan Medical School. Know your basics. The beauty of medicine is that on this basic science, the doctor can treat any new disease without necessarily having encountered it in the past. They can also work anywhere because the eye is the eye. In Europe, America, the eye is the eye. However, basic knowledge should not be an end in itself. It should be applied for the benefit of patients. When you go for ward rounds in 3rd year onwards, do not throw away your basics. Medicine builds on each other, apply them. Yeah? That's why you will see in medicine, things keep repeating as they get more complicated, but they are the same, but they keep repeating themselves. Yeah? There is no excuse for not knowing. You have Google and YouTube. Google is now, how many years old? How many years old? How many years old is Google? It's older than all of you, right? Google is now 25 years old. When I was a medical student, not only was there no Google, and there was no internet, and there was no mobile phone, your dean and I spent many hours in the library trying to imagine the path of the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is what makes you eat and go for long call. For those who are not medical. In 2004, Google bought YouTube. If you Google the path of the vagus nerve, in 10 minutes, you will have learned what we, me and Professor, used to take 24 hours of reading and 8 hours of dissection to learn. Talking of dissection, I think we're in a new era. In 1969, the first president of Kenya, who was the first president of Kenya? You know the first president, you know, this is they might not know. Ordered that Kenyans should start training their own doctors. Our doctors used to be trained in Uganda. Is that in Uganda?
Yeah, the associate thing.
We thank you very much. In 1968, no. Going to Makerere, too much. So a medical school was started the way this has been started. Some story will be told many years later about the starting of this school. Yeah? Started training, and they started with human anatomy. There are many stories of how cadavers would be obtained. Cadavers is a dead body that you dissect so that you can learn where the vagus nerve is. Our first day in medicine, my first day in medicine was in 1993. Professors was in 1994. We were allocated a cadaver. Our cadaver, you're told, this is John. He has gladly donated his body for the advancement of medicine. He's a dead body, eh? You should thank him daily for his sacrifice. You can imagine how many of our non-medical friends used to get shocked when they say we are doing dissections and eating meat at the same time, you know. Satisfactorily through formalin inhalation dissection sessions. As a result of my leadership position at the Kenya Medical Association, the World Medical Association thought it fit to send me for leadership training, and they sent us to Jacksonville in the USA in 2017. While we are in Jacksonville, we are based at Mayo Clinic. Have you heard of a Mayo Clinic? In Jacksonville. You can imagine my shock when I went to the clinic and I found them doing AI dissection, and where they could dissect the figures now by moving their hands and eyes over something, you know, it passes, you know. While us we are dissecting John. What does that mean? That means you have arrived at the next level of medical training. I asked your dean how big your morgue is. He told me they're trying to do away with the morgue. They'll have MOUs with University of Nairobi. We still have some bodies. And Kelu Pat, they are doing AI. And we'll see how that goes with time. What am I saying? It's your time to contribute to the next level of medicine. You have all the tools that have been improved over the years. In medicine, there are only two constants. You remember the maths you passed? Constant was? K, correct. Very good. The K in medicine is the patient and the doctor. The ultimate objective of the practice of medicine is the provision of the highest quality of healthcare by a highly qualified health practitioner. The provision of care for the doctor to the patient are well outlined in the Hippocratic Oath that is administered to all doctors who be qualified. It has been modified slightly over the years to match the changing needs with the latest inclusion of self-care. Traditionally, the Hippocratic Oath has focused a lot on the patient. But with time, they realized doctors also go mad. They start getting, you know, so they included self-care in the Hippocratic Oath. Medicine is collective learning process. Medicine is best done with a Harambee spirit. Your colleagues will always have different ways of seeing things. Some learn faster than others. Others retain longer than others. Therefore, when you discuss in groups, you benefit from everyone. 1 + 1 is 11 in medicine. In discussion groups, the benefits of discussion groups go beyond medical school. On graduating and going out to the workplace, the colleagues you have been studying together with in school will be the same friends you will have in future. It is thus important to make real and deep connections while in medical school, because as doctors, these are the same people you are in with for the long haul. In the clinical areas, also get clinical discussion groups. On that point, for long haul, start looking at better herbs also. So welfare among members is important, and it refers to physical health, psychological health, mental health, and financial health. It is important for the people to love themselves before they can give good service to the community. A major aspect of self-care that you need to look into is associating with like-minded people. As doctors in training, it is only logical to associate with other doctors. Catch your lecturers. Medicine is apprenticeship. Medicine is apprenticeship. It's like a carpenter. You see, assist, do. Catch your lecturers. Those are your first call. While you are in medical school also, remember to keep in good health. Nueva Esperanza Treatment and Rehabilitation Center is an alcohol and substance abuse rehabilitation center that my wife runs. Avoid alcohol and cigarette addiction. I don't want you to be my patients. I will encourage you also to start developing skills in research very early in your medical career. The world has moved to what is called evidence-based medicine. Policy formulation is also evidence-based nowadays. A practitioner with research skills can navigate the medical field very well. It's also a very big plus if medical students can conduct research and present these in various scientific conferences. I'm wishing I had been given this talk when I was a medical student, because the things we did, the problem with Africans is undocumented work, and Professor will probably tell you that. There are several levels of evidence in research, and the first level is yourself. So you must develop in you the art of observation and curiosity. Don't be stuck with what the lecture, just observe for yourself, curious, ask questions. Doesn't mean you're argumentative. It just means you're developing a research mind. Ask questions, do not be afraid to suggest what you think. I think medicine has moved away from those days of ours where Sika was right. Whether or not he's right or not, Sika is right. You guys have an opportunity to actually interact and give your opinion. It is also useful to develop skills, particularly relating to financial prudence, so as not to fall prey to the trap of thinking that just by being a doctor, you makes you rich. Continuous financial education on savings and investments is an important component of your education. As you go on, you will be introduced to savings and credit organizations such as KMA Circle, Housing Circles, and that. Keep learning those slowly by slowly. We also encourage our medical students to take up leadership roles, starting from the ward. These are the leaders of the future is a misnomer. There is no leaders of the future. The leader is here and now. Wherever you are, take up leadership. It's also important to develop a prayer culture. Many a time, prayer becomes the only intervention left when the doctor has done everything they could have done in managing patients, especially critical patients. Do your best and leave the rest to the Almighty God. God heals. Very good. Doctor treats. Finally, to quote Pope Francis, you can have flaws. You can be anxious. You can even be angry. But do not forget that your life is the greatest enterprise in this world. Only you can stop it from going bust. There are many who appreciate you. There are many who admire you. There are many who love you. Never give up on happiness. For life is one incredible show. Enjoy the noble profession, and I thank you for listening.